Every priest has experienced that moment after a long day. You've been on your feet since morning, the phone's been ringing off the hook, and you finally sit down for supper when another call comes in. Someone needs anointing, someone's in the hospital. I've eaten quite a few room temperature plates of food left out on my dining room table. But bringing a soul back to God is always far more important than my dinner plans. St. Martin of Tours also inspires us to live this way. He was a soldier before he was a bishop, and his conversion began the night he met a beggar freezing in the cold. Martin took his own cloak and cut it in half and wrapped the poor man in it. That night, Christ appeared to him wearing that same piece of cloth. The message was clear. Nothing done in love is ever wasted, even if the world sometimes calls it pointless or foolish. Now, we don't like the idea of being servants. Deep down, we prefer to be in control. We want recognition for our efforts, gratitude for our sacrifices, maybe even a feeling that God owes us something for all that we've done. It sneaks into the heart quietly. We think to ourselves, after everything I've given, shouldn't things go better for me? But that's not faith. It's entitlement dressed up as devotion. And when we live like that, we start losing the joy of serving. Parish life turns into an obligation, charity turns into a competition, and even prayer can become a way we try to prove our worth to God. Jesus cuts through all of that in today's gospel. He tells his disciples, "When you have done all that you are commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do.'" It sounds harsh at first, but what he's actually trying to do is set us free. The servant does not live for a reward. He lives in the household of the master who provides him everything. The work itself, the plowing, the tending, the serving, is already a participation in that household. The servant's dignity is not in what he earns, but in who his master is. Wisdom echoes the same truth. The souls of the just are in the hand of God. While they seem to the world to lose everything at death, they are safe where it matters most. God formed us to be imperishable, not to chase applause or comfort, but to share in his very life. We all struggle with this. I do too. When something you poured your heart into, mass attendance, a ministry, or a person, when it doesn't bear fruit the way you hoped, the temptation comes, why bother at all? But that's exactly when humility is put to the test. Real discipleship begins after the applause stops. When we keep serving because we love Jesus, not because we're noticed. Every hidden act of faithfulness, every dish washed, every rosary prayed, every act of kindness no one thanks us for, it begins to have eternal weight. The Lord sees what others often overlook. And at this altar, we remember the pattern of Christ, the master who became the servant, so that the servants might become free to live in the house of the Lord. The Lord of glory, who girded himself with a towel and washed his disciples' feet. Here, he still serves us, his unprofitable servants, with his own body and blood. The Eucharist trains our heart to recognize that we are not owners, but stewards of the gifts of God. What we have is borrowed. What we give back is already his, and yet he still invites us to his table to give it back. Not because we deserve it or because he needs it, but because love delights in giving itself away. St. Martin saw Christ in a beggar and gave him half his cloak. In return, Christ gave him a crown of holiness. So today, let's ask the Lord to make us content just to belong to him, to serve with quiet joy, knowing that being his is reward enough.